A me venivano un po' di 100 foto, per scaricare il benefit, tutti e quattro i video bene non dato fatto il concerto, ma mandateli io voglio la quali
Caitlin Clark didn't just attend Milan's most prestigious fashion show, she owned it. Front row at Prada, not as a lucky guest, not as a celebrity plus one, but as someone who earned that seat, outfit by outfit, moment by moment, over the last 2 years. And now, the entire fashion world is talking. The critics are silent. The haters are quiet. But the real story behind how Caitlin reached this moment is even more powerful than anyone expected. This wasn't overnight fame. This was a calculated rise, built with consistency, confidence,
and Caitlin Clark front row at the Prada show for Milan Fashion Week. Obviously, Caitlin Clark has been working with Prada.
Caitlin Clark attended the Prada Fall 2026 fashion show on February 26th, and not just anywhere. She sat front row, dressed head to toe in Prada, looking like she didn't just belong there. She owned the moment. And, as expected, the internet immediately went into meltdown mode. But before we dive into the reactions and what this all means, we need to rewind, because this moment didn't happen overnight, and it definitely didn't happen by accident. This chapter of Caitlin's story actually begins in April 2024 on WNBA draft night. The moment she walked into the building as the #1 overall pick, she made a statement that went far beyond basketball. She arrived wearing a white Prada jacket, a shimmering silver Prada crop top, a white Prada miniskirt, and black pointed-toe Prada heels. The entire look, Prada from head to toe. And then she dropped a detail that stunned the fashion world. Caitlin revealed that Prada had never fitted an NBA or WNBA player for draft night before. Ever. Not once. She was the first. Think about that. One of the oldest, most powerful luxury fashion houses on the planet, a brand that has dressed royalty, movie stars, and global icons for more—
Breaking women's basketball fashion news, Caitlin Clark in custom Prada for a time event. The fact that it's simple, it's timeless, but the back makes it so special and interesting. Of course, high fashion. She's gonna be in a Prada campaign soon though, I promise. It's Prada, so obviously the silhouette is fantastic, but this dress feels so Caitlin in the style that we've seen from her. It's minimalist, it's classy, it's timeless. The back is a freaking moment. I love that, and I love that Prada did a custom look. Obviously follow more women's basketball fashion news, but what do you think?
That's the part of this story that gets completely lost when people only focus on the Milan trip. Because throughout her entire time with the Indiana Fever, Caitlin kept returning to Prada again and again in her tunnel walks. Game after game. Moment after moment. Not because of a contract. Not because of obligation. But because the connection was real. Every appearance felt intentional. Every outfit reinforced the same message. This wasn't a one-night fashion moment. It was the beginning of a long-term identity. While most athletes treat tunnel fits as trend-chasing, Caitlin treated them as brand building. And slowly, something powerful started happening. Fans noticed. Fashion pages noticed.
Prada, I think Prada's like very me, very like, I don't know, I'm a pretty simple girl, but Prada's never dressed a WNBA player or NBA player for the draft, so it's very fun. Got the simple white and then sparkly on the inside, but yeah, really fun. Got the bag, got the slick shoes, so.
Game after game, Caitlin's walk into the arena became its own headline. Her outfits stopped being background details and turned into full-blown talking points. Some nights, it was an effortless white tank paired with strappy cargo pants, with the unmistakable Prada triangle logo subtly placed, a quiet flex that only fashion insiders truly catch. Other nights, it was a full denim-on-denim Prada set, finished with one of those iconic black nylon Prada bags that instantly completes the entire look. Nothing about it was random. Her stylist, Gerarda Toth, deserves real credit here. Because building a genuine relationship with a luxury fashion house through tunnel walk styling isn't as simple as just buying expensive clothes and putting them on. It requires a coherent visual story. It requires a deep understanding of what the brand stands for aesthetically, and then translating that identity into looks that feel natural, authentic, and consistent. Every appearance has to reinforce the connection, not dilute it. Every outfit has to quietly say the same thing: this is alignment, not advertising. Over 2 years, Toth and Clark built that story together, carefully, intentionally, and without shortcuts. And that's exactly why the Milan invitation wasn't random. It was the payoff. Not a lucky break. Not a celebrity favor. But the result of long-term brand building, cultural relevance, and strategic patience. Front Row at Prada wasn't a surprise. It was the destination.
Fashion news in a minute. Prada knows a good thing when they see it. Caitlin Clark makes fashion history by being the first person to ever wear Prada at a WNBA draft. Congratulations, Caitlin Clark, for being a first-round draft pick, Indiana Fever. We look forward to following your career. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day.
So when Caitlin Clark arrived at Milan's Fondazione Prada for the Fall 2026 show, she wasn't a random celebrity who got a seat because she was famous. She was someone who had spent 2 years quietly and consistently proving that she understands the brand, respects the brand, and wears it in a way that adds to its cultural story rather than just borrowing from it. That distinction matters deeply in the fashion industry, even if they don't always say it out loud. Now let's talk about what she actually wore, because the outfit itself deserves real attention. Caitlin arrived in a cropped, striped polo shirt, a very intentional choice that sits perfectly at the intersection of athletic and elevated. The polo is having a major moment in fashion right now, tied to what the industry calls the sportif aesthetic, clothing that references athletic culture and movement without being literal sportswear. Her wearing a cropped polo to a Prada show wasn't casual. It was a statement that she understands exactly where the fashion conversation is happening, and she placed herself directly in the middle of it. She paired the top with high-waisted trousers, cinched with a Prada belt. She carried a small top-handle bag that mirrored the accessories worn by the models walking the runway past her seat. A wool overcoat was draped effortlessly across her shoulders, that signature fashion styling move meant to look relaxed, natural, and intentional. And she finished the look with pointed-toe Prada heels, the same silhouette she wore on draft night 2 years earlier, creating a subtle but powerful callback to where this entire relationship began. The entire outfit read as sporty chic without trying too hard. It was fashion-forward without being aggressively trendy. It photographed beautifully in the front row, but would have looked just as natural walking down any Milan street. And for someone attending their first major fashion show in Milan, getting that balance right on the first attempt is not easy, and it's not accidental. And then there's the front row itself. Because in fashion, seating isn't just logistics. It's symbolism. Fashion shows are carefully curated social statements about who belongs in a brand's world and who the brand wants publicly associated with it. Where you sit tells you exactly how that relationship is valued. Front Row at Prada in Milan is not a participation trophy. It is a declaration, and it connects back to something that has always been true about Caitlin Clark. She has a rare quality. She makes every room she enters more interesting. On the court, that shows up as competitiveness, confidence, and skill. In fashion, it shows up as natural alignment, presence, and authenticity. She doesn't wear clothes like a costume. She wears them like an extension of who she is. The upcoming Nike collaboration and signature shoe will likely be the next major chapter of this story. And if it follows the same organic, intentional path as the Prada relationship, it has the potential to become one of the most significant athlete fashion collaborations in women's sports history. The critics will continue to look for ways to minimize moments like this. But minimizing this one means ignoring 2 full years of consistent brand building, a genuine luxury fashion partnership that started before anyone was watching, and a front row seat at one of the most prestigious shows in the world that was earned, not given. Caitlin Clark is so Prada. The internet was right 2 years ago, and the fashion world just confirmed it. She walked into Milan, sat front row at Prada, and looked like she had been doing it her entire life. 2 years of quiet consistency led to this moment, and it's only getting bigger from here. If you respect that kind of steady excellence, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's keep this conversation going.